Hey, everybody, Kevin here with Pursuing Pixels, and welcome back to another edition of Save It for the Cast. And you know the drill by now, although we're a day late here on the episode, and I apologize for the delay on getting this one up here, but my 2009 iMac finally died on me. I've been editing the podcast on that thing ever since we started, and just been kind of like, I knew this day was coming, but I just kept putting it off, like, oh, it's still running, it's still kicking, it takes a long time to load things up. But it's still getting the job done, and I just didn't want to learn a new software or anything like that. I was just really reluctant to switch over to my PC because we record on my PC on just using Audacity to get all the individual audio files. At least I know that's what John and I use. I think Randall uses Hindenburg maybe. But I've always just used GarageBand to edit the podcast because that's just what I always grew up using to record demos for music. And I'm just really familiar with all the shortcuts, all the various, settings. I've got all my presets saved, which I was a little bit concerned about once I got a new computer, whether or not those were going to transfer over, keep all my EQ settings and all the, master track settings for the various, I can't even remember all the different effects or whatever that are on each file, but, or on the audio and everything to keep things, sounding good, but compression, stuff like that. But thankfully, I ended up springing for a Mac Mini, at least for now. I'm kind of torn. I kind of second guessing it and wishing that I got the MacBook Pro, or MacBook Air, I should say. But for $300 more, I kind of leaned towards the cheaper route because it was only it was on sale for $100 off. So for $500, I got a new Mac Mini. I've already got a smaller TV that's probably a little bit too big to use as a monitor, but it'll get the job done for now. I got the rest of the editing done. I got the computer, delivered overnight. Got everything, edited up the best that I could. I had most of the episode done, and thankfully it auto-saved because I only had a few minutes left. So, I kind of got sidetracked there, but it's going to be John, Randall, and I in the upcoming conversation here. We're talking all sorts of video game goodies. We start off talking some indie roguelikes and roguelites. Kind of, veering off of, I think it stems off of a conversation talking about Rogue Legacy and Rogue Legacy 2, but we talk a little bit about the original Rogue and some other various games in that genre. Talk about gaming and computer class a little bit. Randall and I also touch on some of our Nintendo Switch 2 and Donkey Kong Bonanza disappointments so far. Mostly me, I guess, touching on the disappointments, especially with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Not that I don't like the game, and we'll definitely dig into it at some point, but it just feels a lot like Mario Odyssey, which we'll get into a little bit coming up here as well. But for me, those open-ended, at least with Odyssey, it just didn't really click with me like the other Mario games do. I'm a huge fan of all the Mario games, including Mario Odyssey. I really like it a lot, but I just feel like I'm a little bit underwhelmed with that game in the sense of its open-endedness, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza almost seems like it's taking that to the next level, almost kind of like Tears of the Kingdom took, what they were doing with Breath of the Wild to the next level, kind of a totally different direction, but kind of a similar, step, quote-unquote up, that for me isn't quite working. I'm loving the game, but I'm also not, I'm not hooked on it. I've definitely put it down and haven't played it in the last couple weeks. Part of that because I went on a recent trip, and I guess that'll just lead me to the one game that I got some time put in on the trip. I can take that back actually because we played a lot of Halo 2 multiplayer. But we'll probably save that for John was on the trip with me. Our buddy Mikey, the drummer of our band, is getting married coming up here. So we did kind of a getaway in the mountains, rented out an Airbnb, and just did a ton of hanging out outside of playing games. But yeah, we did a lot of Halo 2, even got a little bit of Killer Queen Black in, which unfortunately is a game that's no longer available on the Switch eShop, or I think on any digital eShop. Because yeah, unfortunately those servers are down for the online play. But you can still play, offline co-op if you are, or not co-op, but competitive and co-op, I guess, a little bit of both, because it's up to 4-on-4 on the Switch version. But yeah, we had a lot of fun playing just a little bit of that one and played a lot of Halo 2. So I'm looking forward to talking about that with John. But then the other game that I actually polished off, believe it or not, I can't remember if I've mentioned this game in passing or if it's come up on a Save It for the Cast or anything, but I did bring my 3DS with me on the trip along with my Switch and some other things. But when I had some downtime, I typically get up pretty early and all the other guys were still sleeping in for the most part. So I'd jump in the hot tub. And then after I was done with that, I'd grab my 3DS, play a little Bye-Bye BoxBoy on the back patio or side patio deck area that we had. And that game is really, really good stuff. I mean, it's if you've played any of the games in the BoxBoy series, I think this was the third one on 3DS, and then they've released one more on Switch as well. But they're all games in the same vein. They're like puzzle platformers with a heavy emphasis on the puzzling. You're not really doing any like finesse movements for the most part. You can kind of cheese a couple of collectibles or do a few things to kind of get around some of those mechanics, but yeah, it's by no means a precision platformer. It's mostly like you got to just put the boxes in the right spot, stack them up. You get like a box limit on each stage, and you can basically make different shapes of like, you know, almost like tetrominoes or the Tetris pieces, but in different shapes as well. But you're basically making like L's and, you know, upside down shapes to kind of hook yourself up to a higher platform, or making yourself a staircase, or bridging a gap to cover up some spikes. And then as the game goes on, pretty much each world throws not always a new mechanic at you or a new like type of box that you can use, but they're usually throwing some kind of new wrinkle into the mix. And there's usually like 5 to 8 levels on any given world. And I played through all 18 worlds, saw the credits roll, saw the end screen and everything, and then only to be greeted by a, oh, now you've unlocked 2 more bonus worlds. And I fired up the first bonus level for just a few minutes and like was like, okay, this is clearly like going to be super brain teasing. Like if I ever get the itch to really go back to that game, I may, but I think I'm pretty content to have seen the credits roll and just call it there. But I'm just really happy to have seen the credits roll, because I think I've mentioned, again, I don't know if it's come up on a Save It for the Cast or in a regular episode or anything lately, but I've definitely been talking to the guys about how I've like left a bunch of games where I'm like on the last boss. I'm almost positive I talked about this on a Save It for the Cast intro, but like Grapple Dogs, Cosmic Canines, and Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. Those are 2 games that both sequels that I have like right on the edge of beating. I think I just have 1 level left on each of them to at least see credits roll, just like in Bye-Bye BoxBoy, not necessarily to 100% the game or anything. But yeah, I was just really happy to see that game through and see the credits roll. Like I said, I'm just so often like leaving a game, a lot of times with just barely played, but even still, like lately I've been getting like close to the end and just kind of like disappointed in myself that I haven't polished off some of those games. So definitely happy to have cleaned up Bye-Bye BoxBoy, and has me kind of wanting to go chip away at the rest of the games in the series. I think I beat the original game way back when, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And then I think DJ and I played through the entire co-op campaign on not Bye-Bye BoxBoy, on BoxBoy and Box Girl on Switch, which is the first game that introduced like a co-op campaign totally separate from the single player campaign, which is awesome. And now that I'm racking my brain, I feel like we never did fully finish that, because I kind of remember us talking about like, hey, we got to, get together and beat that game. But yeah, in true, I guess, me fashion, just leaving it, almost completed, but not quite. Although I can't remember exactly how far we got on that one. But yeah, at the risk of doing a ton of rambling here, and also at the risk of being later for this episode than we already are, again, apologies for being a day late here on this one, although I don't think it's a huge deal or anything, but was really, for a quick second, I was kind of like, part of me was thinking, maybe I'll just leave this one and we'll skip a week and let myself get caught up with all this travel I've got coming up and that I've been doing lately, and with the computer dying on me. But I was like, you know what? No, we've gone so long without missing an episode or a week, of releasing the episode. I think we did have one other time that we released one late. But even one of the weeks when we lost episode number 30, I just like scrambled and got episode 31 edited in time to get that out. Cause I was just like, I just want to release one every week. So, I even switch into like these Save It for the Cast style episodes. We were originally going to do every other week, and I was like, no, I think I can pull some material out of our, hour to 2 hours that we spend chit chatting before we start recording the episode proper. And yeah, I've been really loving these Save It for the Cast episodes. Both, it's really fun to do the intro and throw a few random games in there, although not so much this week. And then it's also fun to obviously just dig into stuff a little deeper with the guys every other week and have a little more time to like stockpile the stuff we've been playing, or just dig into it a little deeper before we sit down and talk about it together. But yeah, at the risk of just rambling on and on here, this is already a longer intro than I meant to record, but I was just going to do a quick 5-minute here. But yeah, barely talked about any games, but definitely can recommend Bye-Bye BoxBoy. Although you can't get that game anymore, unfortunately, unless you can, find it somewhere online. But yeah, unfortunately, it's with that 3DS eShop taken down. Yeah, no way to purchase it from Nintendo anyways anymore. But nonetheless, yeah, I'll leave it there for this week, and I'll kick the ball over to John, Randall, and I for a little more video games chit chat coming up. Like I said, talking some roguelites and some Nintendo stuff mostly. And then, yeah, until next week, we'll catch you then, and take care.
Also, what I loved in the original Rogue Legacy, there were like hidden rooms that basically gave the like history of Cellar Door like games up to
that's
that point.
cool.
And every single one of them was like, here's a game we made. It sold 5 copies. And
that's
then it was
cool.
like,
That's actually a really cool touch.
it was like 10 of those, and it was like, at this point we had no money, and we're like, well, if Rogue Legacy doesn't make any money, then we're shutting down. Like, we cannot continue if we do not sell a game.
Good on them for seeing it through.
Yeah.
Changed everything for them.
Yeah.
Really did. And kind of for like indie, arcade style games too, like that roguelike style. I feel like that was like, we said it before, but that was one of the early ones that really caught on.
Yes.
Yeah, God.
And like got people fiending for like that permadeath, like, oh, I just want to get my ass kicked by a game run after run after run for whatever reason. That just
probably the first roguelike a lot of people played, for that matter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say that, like Binding of Isaac, some of those, like, I'm trying to even think of some of the other ones. And there was Spelunky.
Yeah, of that era-ish, yeah.
The ones that kind of like took the original Rogue idea and like morphed it into other genres and stuff like that.
Man, I remember one of my good friends in high school like playing Rogue in like computer class. Just being like,
that's awesome.
I can sneak a game into this.
And it just looks like text.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's just jarbled stuff on my screen here. Don't worry about it.
Just like instantaneous ass whooping. Like, God, the original Rogue is so fucking hard.
When it's done well, I've never played it, but when it's done well, that ASCII style, like when it's like got the right level of like a fuzz to it and like the right color combos, like it can really look cool.
What was the Terry Kavanaugh one?
Man, he just released that bundle.
Was it like
games.
Tiny Heist?
Oh, yeah. I don't think it was ASCII though, but it kind of was.
Right.
Like it was inspired by like your character was like an @ symbol, but it had like shoes and it was like a little more animated. But it was definitely like inspired by that. Like everything was just like a symbol or some kind of logo. Mm-hmm. That game was awesome.
Yeah.
That's still one of my favorite games I've ever like done a video for. Or done on like the podcast or whatever. Yeah. But Randall, I saw you haven't put a ton of time into Donkey Kong. I figure we'll table that for another time.
Yeah, I had one session. I mean, you can talk about it if you want to, but I only had the one session.
I got plenty.
Yeah, that was definitely during the early days of my mom's visit, and I threw it on like without basically sound and just kind of messed with it for a little while, as we were.
Yeah.
And so that I think that was the only time that I've booted it.
Yeah.
Since it came out.
Yeah, I've gotten a few decent sessions with it. I'm definitely enjoying it. It's weird. I looked this up, and apparently people are having this problem. It runs better handheld than it runs on the system docked. Like I'm getting frame drops like pretty much every time you smash a banana. It's no big deal because it's not really when you're playing, but it's still just it's always like in like it's just like a cut scene during a little like camera pan and it stutters a little and it's just like what a joke, man. The Switch 2, I'm very disappointed with the hardware. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
It doesn't to me. It doesn't even feel like I have a new system. Barely. I know it. There's definitely a huge upgrade, but it just barely feels like I have a new system.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it feels a little underwhelming as like it's a new system. It's very.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because apparently Mario Kart World and DK Bonanza started out as Switch 1 games.
Sure.
And they've so they're not pushing it as far as it can go, but
that would argue in relation to not having hiccups again if that were the case, right?
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a shame. And it's not like it's all the time or anything. And it is, I mean, you are smashing shit to fucking smithereens. Constantly. So, I mean, I get it. Yeah. I get that it's going to happen. But at the same time, I know it probably wouldn't be happening if I was playing this game on a PS5 or something. So, it's just a little bit, and maybe not even on a PS4. But I was shocked when I played it handheld, and I was like, wait, it's not stuttering when I'm getting the bananas. And then I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, I think it's because it locks it in 1080p, and it's not trying to do the 4K.
Sure. Yep. So, no 4K HDR possibilities, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about turning off the HDR, because it doesn't even make that much of a difference on my TV. So, thinking about ditching it if it's making a difference on the even just slight little chugs, you know?
Right.
But
yeah,
a little bit of a bummer. I'm enjoying the game still, but I went in with the right expectations. You know, I was like, okay, this looks like it's just Mario Odyssey with a new moveset, and that's exactly what it is. So I went in with the right expectations. I will say Mario Odyssey is borderline going to ruin the 3D platforming genre if people keep going this direction. For me personally, because I just don't like. It's just not that fun to just run around and get random shit that has no thoughtful level design.
You're the most wrong anyone has ever been. What are you talking about?
Mario Odyssey, I'm telling you, like more than
Oh yeah, I can't wait to play another precision platformer. What a great rich genre.
More than 50% of the moons in Mario Odyssey are just like sitting there out in the open for you to just randomly find without really much thought, challenge, strategy, or anything. It's just like they're just there.
Sometimes you need citation needed.
Is even worse. Donkey Kong Bananza is even worse. It's just like, let me just smash everything, and then you're like, there's just a random banana in here. Like, how was I supposed to know that I was just supposed to smash down for 30 seconds into the ground, and then there's just a banana down here? I'm sure there's another way to get here, but this is just annoying me. Like, to me it's like really iffy level design at best in DK Bananza.
Do you get completion rewards? I haven't made it far enough to even get into any of that. I've just been collecting MacGuffins in that one playthrough, one play that I had of it.
What do you mean by completion?
Like, rewards? Is there any reward or like tracking of you got all the bananas of this kind in this zone or whatever, and that gives you a thingy or something or a star?
I haven't done that on any, like, I haven't cleared any level per se yet fully, or I haven't gotten that notification, but you can like get banana maps and fossil maps and stuff like that you can just find in random treasure chests that will then, each one will then put one, like show you where one banana is on the map that you can then go track down.
Okay.
But I don't know. I've only, even less so, because at least sometimes in Mario Odyssey you would get to one where you'd like hit a checkpoint and then like clearly it's like, oh, this is like basically a little mini 3D Mario level within this open world or whatever that they stitched together right here. Where like this game so far I have not really found hardly any of that. It's just like, just keep wandering around, follow the path, and then find more bananas that are just laying right in your footstep, or that you just smash around and find some random ones another way. I don't know. It's a cool game, and Pauline is the most annoying thing I've ever seen in a video game.
I haven't made it that far yet. No spoilers.
Yeah, I won't spoil beyond
the character that's on the cover of the trailer.
Game. Yeah. My God. Yeah, we'll get into that. I forgot about that almost. God, I'm gonna have another rant when I talk about that game. Good Lord.
There's going to be no love for Nintendo left on this podcast.
I know. Well, not for the one. It's like I don't love the stuff that I like think I'm going to like. Even though like I said, I went into this one with the right expectations. So I'm kind of like surprised that I'm like this worked up about it, being that I like already knew that I was like, this is exactly what I expected. But I just always think I'm going to like a platformer more.
Right. You know, and it's one of two, tentpole Nintendo releases for the new thing.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. And the fact that it's been like a little bit of a Switch 1 performance issues all over again.
Yeah, like, that doesn't feel good.
This is just kind of souring the excitement about it.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But DK does feel good to control, though. I will say it does feel awesome to just like roll around and jump and just do whatever and smash
Yeah,
stuff.
I thought so too.
But it is pretty much, it's like button mashing the video game. It's just like,
but in like a good way.
Like, yeah,
that,
a satisfying way.
That feels good to do. Yeah.
Yeah. But some of the bosses, you can just like smash the shit out of them and without even trying. It's like, it's kind of disappointing. But at the same time, I don't want to get into like a Dark Souls boss battle in the middle of a Donkey Kong game either, or 3D platformer. So
right.
Hard to strike a balance. It's not like the Mario games have great boss battles either, for the most part. So
yeah, it's been a while since that's been the case.
Yeah, like even I was playing like Mario 3D World, and I was like, man, I forgot that the boss battles in this are just like Bowser riding in the back of like a car and just like throwing soccer balls at you. Like, what the hell is this game?
Like, I always
it was
liked
fun.
The airship levels, or like those ones.
I like the levels. Yeah,
way more fun than like in like even 3D Land. How much it would mostly just be like like a Boomerang Bros, and then like you fight 3 of them in a row, and it's like, all right, this wasn't really anything
or even one of like the Bowser's whatever, the Koopa Kids or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
like they're always pretty easy in all the games, even in the old ones too. But again, I guess we're not really going to Mario games for the boss battles, but like even thinking back to like, it's not like an amazing boss battle in Mario 64, but it's still like awesome. Like
I was gonna say, like 64,
and grabbing him by the
enjoyed.
tail. Like that was just like cool, and it felt like a great climax to that game.
Yeah.
You know, where like the last, even in like Galaxy, my favorite 3D Mario, it's like, okay, every Bowser battle is just him jumping up in the air and slamming down on the planet and jump over the rings. And, you know, it's just like, come on, give me something different throughout this whole fucking game. We just play the same Bowser battles slightly ramped up the whole way through. It's just kind of uninspired for a game that otherwise is like just jam packed with tons of ideas. It's like at that point, just don't even give me a boss battle. Just give me one at the end and let that be it. Maybe one in the middle or something to tease it.
Metroid has incredible boss battles. Oh
yeah,
my god,
that's totally fair.
They're all so
not on Samus Returns. I'll say
not. That's because that's mostly like,
they're almost like all mini bosses.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of recreating the like Game Boy where they were just like regular enemies. Like,
yeah, that's kind of honestly what I like about it. That's I haven't played it much since, but like since we talked about it, which is perfect because I said that's exactly why I talked about it last time. I was like, I feel myself falling off. And I still have been playing, kind of forcing myself, but also just doing it, picking it up and playing it. New Pokemon Snap, man, I'm playing the shit out of that game.
Nice.
And I even fired up the original for a minute too.
Very nice.
And it killed me. I was like, oh, you can't do the auto select photos. Oh, this is brutal. One by one, I got to pick them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I only ended up playing one level because of that.
Oh, nice.
I love like getting better photos and being like, that's clearly better, or like, you're out of your mind, that was
I know. I hate when I have to like pick one that's like, I gotta pick the one for the point in the new one, especially like I'm like, I want to like level up, so I gotta pick the one for the points, but I like that other picture better.
Oh yeah,
but
it's gotta be bigger. No,
that game's pretty fun. You said you picked it up, right, Randall?
I did, yeah. Of course, I haven't opened it yet, but I do own it.
Oh, you bought it new? Okay, I bought a used copy.
Yeah.
I did start up Umineko When They Cry.
Ooh.
And
nice.
I need to play like 100 more hours of it before I can even have an opinion on it. It is so much more reading than I knew it was a visual novel, but it is very much a novel.
Okay.
And I am so far just into like character introductions where they go into in depth of the symbolism of the kanji used in their names.
That's so Japanese.
I was like, oh, this is probably way over my head. I do not know what you are talking about.
Do you want to know what the completionist average hours is sitting at right now as far as the internet's concerned? That is 73 and a half hours.
Fuck me.
For a completionist. A main story playthrough, though, you can do in only 58 hours, to be fair.
Okay, cool.
That's ridiculous for a visual novel game.
This is what I get for, like, not actually... I was like, I want to go in with as little information as possible.
Yep.